COVID-19 has certainly impacted at least our medium-term planning, because it's been such a massive impact in the way we live, the way we work and how we do business. But when you look at the university's 2030 and beyond vision, that was actually forged on the basis that we were going through very disruptive times. Whether it's seismic shifts in geopolitical landscape, or the changing nature of jobs, the technology revolution, or climate change. So we developed our long-term vision on the basis that we're going through rapidly changing times. But what COVID-19 has done has actually accelerated all of those things. And it's actually required the university and all its staff to respond in compressed time. So the long-term ambition hasn't changed. We still have clarity around our values. We've got clarity around our pillars of success, which is around maintaining a global outlook, the recognition that we need trust through partnerships, and also change that matters. Our vision, or our purpose, is to create a better future through education, research and partnerships. That's a very lofty ambition, but I think it's something that we can achieve. As you know, the university has three major goals and strategies that go with that. The first strategy is our education strategy, which is about empowering students for their future, and that's led by Professor Theo Farrell. The second strategy is around research, which is about creating knowledge for a better world, and that's led by Professor Jennifer Martin. The third strategy, which is around being a civic university, which is around making a difference to our communities, is led by Professor Alison Jones. This particular strategic plan is actually very important in the history of the University of Wollongong, because by the end of it, in 2025, the university will turn 50 years of age, and that will be a great time of reflection about both its achievements and its direction of travel.
So the UOW 2020 to 2025 education strategy unpacks the first goal of the university strategic plan, which is to empower our students for their future. And so within that we have 5 themes. So the first theme under the education strategy is to future-proof our graduates. And so that's focusing on more digital learning, more work-integrated learning and more lifelong learning. The second theme is around engaging our students as trusted partners. So this is very much around enhancing the student voice and empowering our students to co-design their educational journey. The third theme is around developing our students as global citizens. So this is about creating more opportunities for international mobility and also, very importantly, more opportunities for digitally enabled cross-campus education. The fourth theme is leveraging learning analytics and AI to improve our personalised support to students. And here, what's very important for us is using data in an ethical and transparent way, and of course assuring data protection and security. And the fifth theme is promoting and rewarding teaching excellence. And here, of course, we're recognising that our core strength at Wollongong are our marvellous academic staff. So this is about investing in our staff. There's obviously a lot in the education strategy, so perhaps I'll just pull out 3 of our top priorities. The first is to widen and deepen the use of digital platforms and resources. And here, of course, we want to leverage the immense success we've had this past year with the move to remote delivery. Second priority is to widen and deepen work-integrated learning across all of our courses. And this, of course, is really important to support the future employability of our graduates. And a third priority is to develop an integrated portfolio of lifelong learning offerings, which would include micro-credentials. So there's lots in the strategy that's new, and there's also some stuff in there that's not new. These are our enduring commitments to, for instance, embedding Aboriginal knowledges across our curricula, and also to advancing environmental and social justice. And so, for instance, on that latter theme, we're developing a curated portfolio of subjects on the UN Global Sustainable Development Goals.
Our research and innovation strategy is set around our 3 priorities of people, performance and planet. Performance, obviously, we need to make research excellence our #1 goal, and that's what we're focused on. But we also want to add those 2 extra parts of the puzzle, our people, so focusing on our researchers, particularly best practice high degree research students, investing in our early career, our next generation of researchers, and also addressing issues of equity and diversity in our research cohort. And then Planet is because we've embedded the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals right throughout our strategy. One of our goals obviously is best practice high degree research student training and support. And through that strategy we've appointed this year our Dean of Graduate Research, Professor Clive Baldock. And he's now tasked with implementing the review recommendations from our 2019 Graduate Research School Review. So there'll be a lot of change there that we'll see coming through around that particular goal of our strategy. We're also looking at transformative applications and processes to help facilitate our research. And we've embedded across the strategy the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals to make sure that we're focused on research with global impact. The Associate Dean's Equity, Diversity and Inclusion are a direct result of our implementation of the SAGE Athena Swan Action Plan. You might recall that we were awarded a Bronze Award in the SAGE Athena Swan Charter a couple of years ago now, and one of the actions that we have is to implement people responsible for equity, diversity and inclusion across the university. So we now have Associate Deans, Equity, Diversity and Inclusion appointed in each of the faculties and in our AIM Institute. And they're doing a great job in implementing some of the sub-goals within that area.
I'm very excited about the Civic University strategy because it leverages all of our relationships and all of our potential to influence and work with our communities. Inclusion's fundamentally important to who we are as a university, but the success of society overall. We want to strengthen our commitment and actions towards truly diverse student and staff body and partnership with communities that support diversity. There's nothing more important for a regional university than its partnerships with others, from the smallest NGO to the biggest corporate. Our new civic strategy renews our commitment to that deep-seated partnership towards mutual benefit. What's different in the University of Wollongong is we're not asking the question, what are we good at? We're asking the question, what are we good for? And the answer to that will come from our community's needs and aspirations. It's really important that we work together in these tricky economic times, particularly to grow jobs and opportunities. And our iAccelerate Centre creates new startup business and a chance to think outside the box. And at the other end of the spectrum, we've got the Developing Health and Wellbeing Precinct, which will bring with it so many jobs and opportunities to this region, focusing on needs of this region of the ageing population, and creating added value through our partnerships across our communities, from the smallest NGO to the very biggest corporate organisation.
As you know, we answer to our governing body, council, and we have a clear set of key performance indicators. There's a dozen of them, and against each of those key performance indicators we have targets which we measure. So we've got an ultimate 5-year target, but we break that down on a year-by-year basis. So we'll have clarity around each of those key performance indicators, whether the university is achieving its goals. We've engaged deeply with everybody, staff and students, in the development of this strategic plan. I think it started with the 2030 and beyond vision, and I think that without their input and ownership of the plan, we're not going to achieve our goals. So it's very important that we engage deeply, and I'm really grateful for the input and commitment that staff have shown, and students, to recognise that we've also got a university that's ambitious, not just for the communities and for the staff, but also for the students and their future.